One of Polk County's longest unsolved crimes was recently put to rest here, in this quiet country cemetery located just 5 miles west of Stromsburg. In 1945, someone, for some unknown reason, took the headstone of an 8-month-old infant named Lena Davis. For the next 70 years, Lena's marker would take on a life of its own, and its eventual return exposed a growing issue surrounding many of Nebraska's rural cemeteries.
My name is Cindy Drake, and I'm the librarian for the Nebraska History Library located at the Nebraska State Historical Society. And one of my assignments is the Nebraska Statewide Cemetery Registry.
Established in 2005 by the Nebraska legislature, the statewide cemetery registry will eventually be a comprehensive database of burial sites across the state.
The true intent of the statute was to compile a listing of all the cemeteries, burial grounds, mausoleums, crematoriums located in the state of Nebraska, to give their exact location and who is responsible for them.
It's estimated that there are 3,500 burial sites, and of those, only about half are registered. Without a dedicated staff person, Cindy, by default, now manages the registry, along with all the other duties she performs as the state librarian. Since taking on the registry, Cindy has discovered a common concern among the people who've reached out to her.
One of the major things that I've learned is the number of abandoned cemeteries that are in this state. And when I say abandoned, I mean all that's left of them are the tombstones.
Many rural cemeteries were created by Nebraska's earliest landowners, the pioneer settler. A number of these burial grounds did not have formal cemetery boards, and if there were burial records, they were donated to local libraries or simply lost to time. And what can only be described as a twist of irony, what puts rural cemeteries at the highest risk of disappearing, is encroachment by agriculture.
If an abandoned cemetery does not have a fence around it, and that the farmer with their bigger machinery keep encroaching upon the cemetery. The most horror stories that I heard of was years ago about farmers who just removed the tombstones and threw them in a ditch and farmed over the property.
This is an experience that is all too familiar with Richard Boston.
I wouldn't call it a cemetery at the time. It was an open grassy space that was maybe 80 feet long by 40 feet wide in the center of a cornfield at the time.
Though his family homesteaded in Pawnee County, Richard lives in Colorado. It was during a series of visits to the resting place of his ancestors that he witnessed Prairie Star Cemetery's transformation into cropland.
Originally, in 1870s, it was 2 acres. And it was down now to, a dozen square yards at the most, maybe the size of 2 automobiles. Christina's headstone was in one of the furrows in a bean field.
With the assistance of the county attorney's office and the cooperation of the landowner, the cropland was ceded back to Prairie Star Cemetery. 1 year after the discovery of the cemetery's demise, Prairie Star Cemetery was restored to its original 2-acre footprint.
There's no way to put the stones back exactly where they came from, so we're still trying to figure out the best solution for those stones. The other kind of worry is that some people do collect those things, and so we're still a little torn about how to ensure that they're there and don't disappear.
There are no local laws in regards to the protection of abandoned cemeteries unless the county governments themselves put it on their books. I have learned throughout the state, with 93 counties, you have possibly sometimes 93 different ways abandoned cemeteries will be taken care of.
If abandoned cemeteries have a friend, it's sure to be in pint-sized dynamo Luella Hendrickson.
I started on Find a Grave in 2009, and then volunteered to take pictures, and you just put the information of whoever's buried in each cemetery.
In 7 years, Luella has documented more than 18,000 graves, working as a volunteer for the Find a Grave website.
I do it all year long whenever, even in wintertime, you can get real good pictures in the wintertime. I just enjoy the cemeteries. They're a peaceful place, and those records aren't always going to be there. The stones that are, even in the years that I've been doing this now, they're deteriorating something terrible, a lot of them. I don't want people to be forgotten, whether they're rich or poor, or regardless, their age. There's so many babies. Everyone's important.
Including little Lena Davis.